How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OP Entertainment. I'm Omar Darwish.
And I'm Pratik Cherian.
And this is our review of The Substance. We're going to go spoiler-free.
Yeah.
This was directed by Coralie Fargeat, starring what's her name?
Well, Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, yeah. And
Margaret Qualley.
Margaret Qualley, that's it.
And Dennis Quaid, and that's all the actors in this.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid is in this, for sure. Pratik, we're going to go spoiler-free.
Yeah.
What'd you think of this movie?
Quite possibly the grossest movie I've ever seen.
I don't know if it's the grossest I've ever seen, but definitely this year.
Well,
definitely in a while.
Definitely in like the last 5 years, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that took me a while to come to terms with how I felt on it.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Still waffling with my...
Yeah. I think it's tough. There's a lot of like, I think it's I liked a lot of the shots. You kind of pointed out when we were watching it, like a lot of it feels like a callback to The Shining,
Yeah,
which
100%.
is definitely like, to me that's a good thing.
That's actually my favorite part of this movie is the homage to The Shining and just like how much this mirrors The Shining, or not even mirrors The Shining, but just pays homage to it in the set, I guess.
Yeah. And I think there's parts of it that are interesting, that bring up I just think that for as much as it wanted to say, it was really, really, like, pun intended, light on substance,
Yeah. It has a message for sure.
Yeah.
But it's a message you've heard a million times, and it's told in a very original way. This is a very original movie. You can't say it's not.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mentioned this to you though.
And I think that's also why, like, you kind of, especially when it. So I guess let's say what the movie's about, because I don't know if that many people know.
Okay.
So the movie follows an actress played by Demi Moore. I almost said her character name. And she hosts like a jazzercise type like TV show kind of thing. And basically she gets old and the network wants someone younger. So her career's kind of over. And so she gets offered the opportunity to take something called the Substance, which promises to make a newer, better, younger her.
Yeah.
So she takes the Substance
With very clear, specific rules.
Yes, with very clear, specific rules around how to use it. And so she takes the Substance, and so she gets split into two bodies: a young body named Sue, or who names herself Sue, and then her original body. And they have to switch back and forth throughout the course of this movie. And I think that's the basic premise.
Yeah, I think that gives away enough of the movie without giving away too much.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about how they handled all that? I'm sorry, this is a tough movie for me because I really didn't.
Yeah.
This movie's so excessive and just like it's clearly just very horny, and the ends don't justify the means for me with this movie. Like I don't know who exactly this movie is for. Go ahead.
No, it's like the movie is wanting to, like, the message is a lot about like the way that the pressures that women in our society feel, specifically regarding their looks.
Yeah.
And so I think along those lines, like, there's a lot of things the movie's trying to say about like gays, but then in the way that it shoots the movie, it almost perpetuates that. Like, I think Margaret Qualley, for the first like hour of her screen time, has like one line, and everything else she does is like
she's just naked.
Just like naked, or just like, hey, be hot pinup girl, like, open a Diet Coke sexily, like.
The motivation is there for the character, but I just don't really get why.
I think that's one of my gripes with this movie. It's just, I don't feel like we got our characters fleshed out enough.
No,
like,
not at all.
Yeah,
at all. Yeah.
So like, there's enough there where if you're talking the movie out, you can kind of extrapolate, like, oh, this is what this character, like.
Yeah, you're never rooting for or against either side, because you don't have any weight in it, because you don't care about either side.
Yeah, and like the movie wants to contrast these two women.
Yeah.
These two women, the same woman.
Yeah,
contrast these two women, but I never feel like we spend enough time like
with either side.
Well, it's not even that we don't spend enough time with either side. It's that the movie just kind of like doesn't really give us a glimpse into what they think. It's more just like
why they want what they want, or
what they why do they want it? What do they want? Like we don't get any of that. It's a lot of just like, all right, and now she's doing this, and so like. Yeah,
like there's a good like short film in here about like how much aesthetics mean and like how much value they hold in society and in life or whatever. But like,
and like the lengths we'll do to chase those things.
Yeah, but this is just so like
I was telling
overly...
you, it feels like an idea for a Black Mirror episode, and I think like that may have been better because those typically are like an hour.
Do you have any positives?
Well, again, like, besides the way that it's shot, and again, I do think
some of the practical effects are incredible.
Some of the practical effects are really
Cronenberg,
good.
Carpenter.
Yeah, I think that the ideas that the movie wants to explore are worth exploring. It just probably would have helped if it was...
They've been explored, though. This is not, like, untreaded water. Like, I don't know.
I like Dennis Quaid in it.
Dennis Quaid likes Dennis. This is the most excited Dennis Quaid has been to play a character ever. We won't spoil like who exactly he's playing or whatever. But like,
I'll spoil it.
Go ahead.
You could spoil it just by going to IMDb. So he's playing a let's say sleazy TV executive named Harvey.
Yeah,
draw your own conclusions.
Whoever you think that is. Yeah. But it's just really he's very excited to play this role.
He is living this character up. Like he is. Every line he's just so excited.
It's almost as if he was like best friends with the guy and he knew exactly how to play him or something, but like whatever.
There were a lot of lines where I'm just like, I feel like he probably said that in real life because there's no way, like the way they're said are just I don't know.
But even with that, they don't really go enough with it.
I think that's one of those things where this is a movie that like is not taking itself seriously and knows that it's not taking itself seriously.
Yeah.
But also like is approaching a very serious topic and wants you to take the topic seriously while not taking the movie itself. I don't know, like there's a lot of like disconnect there.
I just feel like there's a lot more movies and just media or anything out there that relays this message much better, and like it's just there's no planet where I'm watching this again. There's no planet where I'd recommend this to anybody.
Yeah,
it just like there's it's unique and it's original, and like maybe it'll be studied in like film class like in the future, but like, and for like some of the horror aspects of it, like I don't know, maybe as a kid I would have enjoyed this, or even as like a teen. I think I've aged away from this, or I can't believe this is on so many critics like lists, and like this might get a Best Picture nomination and like all this. Like this is insane to me. Like what are we doing, guys? Like I don't know. I don't know, but like it's just not for me. It's just not for me.
It doesn't go into any topic in depth enough for me to like get past all the grossness. And
you're along for the journey, but it's like so.
And it's probably like an hour too long, and it definitely like the ending just kind of draws out where we were just waiting for it to end. Like once we got to like the conclusion of the characters' stories, we were just like, all right, like we got it, like we know where this is.
Like this movie has like 5 crazy endings. Where it's like, oh okay, it's over. Oh no, it's just gonna keep going. It literally drags on. So I'm ready to score this. I can't give it a 0 because like Demi Moore is great in it, and like the performances are great. It's shot fine. It's shot fine.
Yeah, I feel like the performances are good. It's just that they don't have a lot to do.
Yeah.
Like again, what am I? Yeah. There's not enough like lines. There's not enough dialogue. There's not enough like moments for the character, for like the actor to really draw the character out outside of like a physical performance. So they all do a great job, but
this would have been a good like short film. Like they could have done like a really good like 20-30 minute short film out of this, and it would have been like great, honestly. But this just it felt like they had a lot of things they wanted, like techniques and stuff they wanted to do. I don't know. It just didn't seem.
Yeah. Anyway, I interrupted you scoring.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I just don't want to give it a 0 because of just the effort put into this movie is clearly, and the effects alone. I'm thinking like 2, 3. Other than Megalopolis, this is going to be like the worst movie of the year for me.
Yeah,
so
it's not that bad for me. I think I'll give it a 4, because again, it's the kind of movie like
It's not that bad. You go like one above it. It's not that bad for him. I'm gonna give it 4.
You were like 2, 3.
Okay.
So I'm just
So not 3, 4. You're 4, 5.
Yeah, like it's
For Dennis Quaid, you're giving it a.
yeah, it's tough. Like the action's good. I really appreciated the way it was shot. Like the aesthetics are great.
The aesthetics are good. They're really good.
It's trying to say something and it's trying to say something and also like answer some of the questions that it presents. So like I give it props for that. It just didn't quite go enough, but I'm not gonna fault it for that.
It says something, and like beyond love yourself doesn't really give you any way
It's not
to
even love yourself. It's almost
but
like
I guess what I'm saying is like it doesn't give you any way to like it'll present like the problem with the world or whatever, right? But it doesn't give you like what we should do about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's yeah. This movie is a big headache.
All right. Well,
would you give it a 4?
I give it a 4.
And I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3. So
all right, fair enough. It's probably our last episode before Christmas.
Probably.
So,
yeah. Hopefully the next review is better than this one. I'll tell you what.
Hopefully. Probably going to be Nosferatu, I think.
Probably. I can't wait.
Not entirely sure when that will be, but sometime next week we'll give you a Nosferatu review. Yeah. So we'll see you guys then.
See you guys. I was gonna say Merry Christmas and stuff, but I don't. It's fine. It's fine.
Thought about it.
It's not.